Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be building a Republic fleet, and I want to build a Wave 10 fleet. I want to do a new type of fleet using Ryan Kingston's fleet builder. If you're not familiar with this builder, I'm going to put a link to it in the description below. Fantastic fleet builder. If you donate, they're going to save some of your stuff. But he's recently redesigned this. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but now the cards actually have all of the information on just one card, including all of the upgrades at the bottom with the point cost. Really, really nicely done here. And I wanted to use some Wave 10 stuff. I don't currently have my Wave 10 stuff in hand yet, but we can prep that since all of the cards are known. And we got to build some Venators, right? Also, there's still time left to enter to win the $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. All right, so we are going to build a Tarkin fleet. And we're going to put Tarkin on our flagship, which is going to be this Venator 2. Lots of frontal dice. We got some good side dice, a nice rear salvo potential. We got some nice anti-squadron capability. We got a 5 squadron activation ability on this thing. This is going to be a behemoth of squadron activation, and it might be the only particular squadron that we actually activate. So it'll be a fun one. And so we're going to do a couple of interesting things on this one. We're going to start off with our commander here, who's going to be Admiral Tarkin. Tarkin, an interesting kind of way that they've changed this too is that you can see here on the website, there we go. He's got the numbers kind of as an overlay over here, so you can more easily read the points cost. But if you zoom in on the card, you can see all of the card right there. And as a matter of fact, you can see the faction restriction, which if you're just looking at the quick view, some of that will get blurred out a little bit. But Tarkin's going to let you have 6 commands on here. At the start of each ship phase, you can discard 1 command token from this card. If you do, you either gain a matching command dial or each friendly ship gains a matching command token. This is going to be a little bit of a concentrate fire heavy build. Concentrate fire is my favorite command in the game of Armada, and there's a lot that has happened with the Clone Wars to make it better, and that's one of the things we're going to be working on. But we're not going to only do concentrate fire, because this is also going to be a squadron activating ship, so we're going to have some different things on here. But since we are going to have concentrate fire capability, let's put some clone gunners on here. Right, you can get rid of since we have Tarkin and he can give out some concentrate fire tokens to everybody in the fleet. I can give one to a support ship and then just spend it to get me an accuracy, which I'm gonna like very, very much. I'm gonna be probably flying this ship a little bit on the slower side. I want people to, people are gonna want to get around me, and so because of that, I'm gonna give this one quad battery turrets. I'm gonna be using the new thermal shields, which is just a tremendous upgrade to have here. And we'll also put Clone Commander Wolf on here. This is going to give my squadrons a little bit of extra functionality. If you exhaust this card, you can now give your clones assault, which is a real fun way to do that. And of course, we'll do that once in a while. We don't have to do it too often, but we can at least do it twice. So that is fun, and that's all we're going to run on the flagship itself. This is going to be a dual Venator build, though, because there are a lot of times you would see multiple Venators out. And since it's not the most expensive ship out there, we're going to run a Venator 1 as well as our little difference maker. This one will have actually a little bit more upgrades. This is going to be our main firepower Venator. And of course, we're going to start off with the big bad ultimate, the Sfati, right? This is going to give us that ignition attack. This is only going to be able to be used each time we ready it with a concentrate fire token, hence some of the natural synergy that Tarkin brings to this particular card and this combo. So we're going to actually have a lot of different things that we can do with concentrate fire tokens here. We're going to also run gunnery team, which is only going to work when we're doing concentrate fire, so that's going to be good. We're also going to give this ship intensify firepower, since I really do like the ability to convert any die to a hit. With the lack of rerolls that the Republic is going to have right now, Intensify firepower is going to be consistently important for these fleets. You know, like there's not a single ship in the entire Republic that has the ion cannon slot right now, which is going to make it a little bit problematic, especially with a really strong new point defense ion cannon turret. Those are something that the Republic just doesn't have advantage of the advantage of having right now. So they're not going to have that great squadron defense. So that means the Republic needs to take a little bit more squadron offensive approach. And since I've got that, you know, kind of longer range, you know, SFA-T attack, and I've got gunnery team, I can also fire out of my front arc. Let's do another long range attack. We're going to run heavy fire zone. Now, the SFA-T is a modification, so it takes away a lot of my best turbo laser upgrades. But the heavy fire zone is going to let those 2 blue dice I have, boom, 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 turn into 2 red dice. And I can now roll those at long range because it's before you're gathering dice. So it's just really cool. So that's going to be a fun one to run with this one, especially when you lose your modification slot. It's a good excuse to go ahead and run heavy fire zone on a ship that's got 2 blue for anti-squadron. I'm really liking that option as well. So we have a couple other slots. Since our SFA-T can give us some extended range, now it's only a close range ignition, so you're only putting this token out so far, and your special battery armament only has blue and black dice, so you're not really going to have, you know, some extreme range, because even though your range tool extends out a little bit farther, you know, you don't have red dice to throw on top of that when you're firing this particular weapon. So, you know, you're really only going to get out to about long range there anyway. But since you can now throw a black die at effectively long range, let's put a black critical effect on there. It's not too expensive if we just go with assault protons. We're only going to get to trigger that once per turn, but if we get lucky and we're able to trigger that at long range, that'll be tremendous. It does kind of depend on what we're shooting at, so we kind of want to make sure we target the big slow ships. You know, there are our enemies' large ships that don't have evades. That's where we want to be targeting. Now, for this particular ship, we still have an officer slot available. For this one, I really like the idea of putting Clone Captain Zach on here. Clone Captain Zach is a cool card, but he just hasn't really found his niche yet, and I think the SFA-T, which can turn your side arcs into a special firing arc, you'd be firing from your side zone, be able to use him with the SFA-T ignition attack, and then of course you can add a die to that, which can also synchronize with the assault proton torpedoes for when somebody does get past you, or if you have to kind of come in at an angle. I feel like he works really well there. For the titles, we're going to go with the Resolute. This gives us a lot of flexibility based on the mission that we're doing, but this is really for like an engineering and just some extra concentrate fire commands. That's what this is potentially all about right here. It's an extra way for us to get concentrate fire commands if we have to go ahead and, you know, pick some different engineering or nav things with Tarkin. It's going to let us have a little more flexibility, so we can get those. And the cool thing too is, like, Tarkin might give us a concentrate fire command. We may spend it on intensify firepower right away, even if we have a concentrate fire command queued up. You know, and so we have a little bit of flexibility because both of those timings happen at the same time, and so this one we can then refill, you know, after the fact. So it's really cool, but like all the different ways that we can be spending tokens and making these things work. We kind of like token overload right now. So that's 2 ships. We're only 279. So that's pretty cool. We got some room. Now, you might think, all right, well, we'll just run a consular right now. Well, the new Peltas are actually pretty cheap also. 45 points is the same price as a consular Charger C70. So, I mean, you know, like, they're not terribly bad. Medical's a little more expensive. We got the blue dice there. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the Pelta class transport frigate. Try and save a little bit. Plus, in case I get it close, you know, I've got a nice little anti-squadron battery, got some, you know, a little bit of punch if somebody wants to get up on me. So I like that. I really like the TB-73 title. Gives me a little more survivability. Gives me that 4th defense token. Gives me a double of the evade, which is super groovy, even though I can't put turbo laser reroute circuits on this thing right now. I still like it. For this one, I'm going to run parts resupply, or no, rather munitions resupply. I want to make sure we've got plenty of tokens. hey, and here's a way for, if all else fails, I've got even another way to put out concentrate fire tokens. This gives me a lot more flexibility at the beginning of the game. I don't have to have Resolute give me concentrate fire tokens. I can have Tarkin go with more nav and engineering or squadron if I need to. But I have all of my bases covered. I can have lots of concentrate fire tokens. I can trigger all of those concentrate fire abilities. This might be overkill, but that's okay. Let's try it out for our first game with Wave 10. This might be one of the first builds I end up running. I want to hear what you guys think. We have points left over. We can add some squadrons at this point. I want to add Anakin Skywalker. I think he's the best squadron in the game, and so I think he's probably going to be seen in every Republic build that I ever run. I think he's just too good not to take. The only thing that'll make me not take him is if they come up with other versions of Anakin Skywalker, like an Anakin Skywalker Commander or Anakin Skywalker Officer cards that are also too good not to take. Then I'm going to have some tough choices ahead in deciding what I want to run. And from that, I need to have at least 5 squadrons because I've got the Venator 2 here who's going to be activating 5 squadrons at a time. So let's add, I'm going to add 4 V19s since they are good all around squadrons. They're just good at everything. They're not too expensive either. If I add 4 of those, that's going to put me up to 399. It gives me exactly 4 squadrons. Now, I get that I might be able to, Anakin's not that much more expensive, so like even if I drop him down, it's not going to be enough to get me a 6th squadron. So, I could cut some other upgrades out and try to squeeze it in there, but I'm okay with just having 5. I know that kind of loses me a single point of deployment advantage, but I'm okay with that. I want most of these guys to be all together. I want this Venator to be kind of back pretty far. I want the flagship to be back kind of far too, but maybe a little bit closer. And we've got some options there. This is a fun way to kind of approach this a lot of these new upgrades and have some fun with a new commander and have some token shenanigans for sure. For our objectives down here, we're gonna go with close range intel scan. This one is gonna give us this is gonna be a pretty cool way to potentially get some of those accuracies. It's either this or, honestly, what is it? Precision strike? No, targeting beacons. Targeting beacons is another good one also, as a matter of fact. I don't have a problem with this one. The only risk with targeting beacons is if your opponent's running, some VCXs or some lambdas with strategic, they could potentially move some of these away. But they give you rerolls, and it doesn't do anything positive for your opponent. So, you know what? On second thought, let's go with targeting beacons. We're going to put fire lanes in here that helps us. I definitely want, both of my Venators pointed at the enemy for a number of reasons. I want to be able to go slow and take advantage of the quads on Tarkin. I want to be able to, predict where to place that ignition token with this Fa-T. So fire lanes is very, very helpful for that. And for this, I'm going to go with just the classic Solar Corona. I want you to lose accuracies. Accuracies are a lot more damaging now to, when you want to salvo somebody and you can't, and all of that stuff, since there's not really many duplicates of defense tokens in the Clone Wars factions. So that is the build, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Be sure to enter to win the giveaway. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment. Be sure to check all the links in the description below. Big thanks to all of my supporters out there, all the patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your continued support. You got early access Armada battle reports out there right now, so be sure you're checking out Patreon if you're already a patron. If not, check the links in the description below. I want to thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.